Hello everyone, my name's Kate and I'm glad to see you in the second part of the Unit 3. It's exam time! In this lesson, we will try to answer the following questions. Number 1. We have to wear a uniform. And we must wear a uniform. What is the difference? Number 2. At Christmas, on Christmas Day, or during Christmas. Number 3. How is I did my homework different from I've done my homework? Number 4. How to use me in a sentence. Number 5. How to use the passive voice. Let's get started. Now, let's review the time preposition with the game called Who Will Be the Champion? You'll get a gold medal if you get 5 correct answers. 4 correct answers, you will get a silver medal. And with 3 correct answers, you will get a bronze medal. Look at these examples and fill in the blanks with at, on, or during. So, we usually say A, at 6 o'clock, B, on Sunday, C, during summer, D, on Monday evening, and E, at Christmas. From the examples, let's figure out the rules to use the preposition correctly. Let's start with at. When we want to talk about a specific time on the clock, weekend, or public holiday like Christmas, we use at. When we want to talk about a particular day of the week or a part of a particular day, we use on. When we want to talk about period of times when something happens, seasons or months, or even longer periods like years, we use during. Now, let's have a look at the dialogue. In this dialogue, Bob and his dad use must and have to. But do you know the difference between these two verbs? If we think something is really important for us, we would generally use must. But if someone tells us to do something, they use have to. There are a few notes that you need to remember. Number 1, I, you, we, they go with have to. And he, she, it go with has to. Number 2, unlike had to, must has no future or past tense. She had to do the exam, not she must it. He will have to find a job after he leaves school, not he will must. Do you know that must not and do not have to don't mean the same thing? We use must not and mustn't, especially in rules what we have to do. For example, you mustn't talk to your friends during the test. We use don't have to say something isn't necessary. For example, it's Sunday. We don't have to wake up early. We can use needn't the same way as don't have to. For example, it's Sunday. We needn't wake up early. Now, let's do this exercise and choose the correct answers. You have 4 minutes. Now let's go through the answers. Number 1 is B, have to, because we don't use must with future tense. Number 2 is C, have to, because somebody is telling us to wear uniform. Number 3 is C, mustn't, because we should use negative in this context, and this is an obligation. Number 4, A, needn't, because it's unnecessary to open the book. Number 5 is B, needn't, because there is a school bus, so it's unnecessary for parents to drive their kids. Number 6 is B, must, because it's an important thing to do. Number 7, have to. A, because must is a modal verb and we can't use with do you. Number 8 is C, mustn't. We shouldn't use negative in this context, and this is an obligation. Let's look at this conversation between David and his mom about his schoolwork. In this conversation, they use past simple and present perfect. Do you still remember how to use these two tenses? Let's start with present perfect. We can use present perfect for something that has started in the past and continues until the present. For example, Kate has learned English for 15 years. We can also use present perfect to talk about personal experience up to the present. Take a look at this example. Peter has watched the movie 3 times. Finally, we can also use present perfect to talk about events that happened in the past, but the exact time is not important or we don't know when it happened. For example, I've lost my history book. Now, let's talk about the time expressions for the present perfect. We can use for, just, already, yet, ever, and never. Take your time to read the rules and pause the video if you want to take note. Let's move on to the second tense, past simple. We can use the past simple for events that finish in the past, like I lost my book, I bought a new one last week, or did you pass the exam last month? We can also use the past simple for events that happen in the past and we know the exact time, like I took the exam on the 5th of October. And finally, we usually use the past simple with these time expressions. Yesterday, last week, last month, last year, ago, in 2000. Here's an exercise. Fill in the blanks with the correct tense. You will have 4 minutes. Let's check the answers. Number 1. It happened yesterday, so it will be a question in the past simple. Number 2. It happened this morning, so it will be a negative sentence in the past simple. Number 3. It happened 2 years ago, so it will be the past simple. Number 4. We can see the time expression yet, so it will be a question in the present perfect. Number 5. We can see the time expression already, so it will be present perfect. Number 6. We can see how long, so it will be the present perfect. Number 7. It happened yesterday, so it will be the past simple. And number 8. We can see when you were on holidays, so it will be the past simple. Finally, we will learn a new structure today. Let's have a look at the first column. They are called active sentences. Now have a look at the second column. There's something different, right? They are called the passive sentences. We can use active and passive sentences to express the same meanings. Now we will learn how to use the passive voice in the present simple tense. Take your time to read the rules and pause the video if you need to take notes. You should bear in mind that we use the passive when we don't know who do or did the action or it isn't important. For example, I am accepted into Oxford University. So we don't know who accepts the speaker into the university. Here's an exercise. Rewrite these sentences into the passive voice and you will have 4 minutes.